Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by Robert Owen for the first time, qualifier for this year's World Championship. How you doing, Robert?
All good, thanks. Just relaxing, enjoying a bit of time off.
It's what you got to do. It's what you got to do. You've been a busy man on the Challenge Tour, bits and pieces of Pro Tour. It's important to enjoy that time off, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Probably like the last sort of 18 months, I've been away quite a lot, and it's basically just been a non-stop thing. Home for a week, away for 2 weeks, home for like 10 days, away for another 2 weeks, home for a week, away for another 2 weeks, long weekend. But yeah, you got to enjoy a bit of family time in between, man. It just keeps everything level.
It's really changed for the non-tour card holders now, hasn't it? Previously, it was just Challenge Tour and local tournaments here and there, but with sort of the WDF, the ADC, and obviously what's going on with Modus as well. There's so many options, and to be honest, the non-tour card holders are busy in the tour card holders sometimes.
Well, definitely. I think I like obviously I held a tour card for 6 years, but I think the last 18 months I've been more busy and away from home 3, 4 times as much as what I was when I was on the tour. So, well, for a minimum, I'm hoping for a minimum the next 2 years, it's going to be quite relaxing, really, on and off playing the tour. Like, but yeah, it's big strides in the game now, and there's a lot more opportunity for as what people were calling it before, like what they call amateurs or semi-amateurs, or what I got called was what they were saying was hybrid pro or whatever they want to call it. But I always class myself as professional even without the tour card, because at the end of the day, it was my job. I was still earning a good wage from sponsors and from, you know what I mean, from the events which I was entering. But people don't really realize that just having a tour card doesn't necessarily make you a professional. It's my job. I don't have any other income. I just play darts for a living. That's it. Even whether you got a tour card or not, it's irrelevant. If you can make enough to live on, you're a professional.
Does that put any extra pressure on the darts? Because some people who have extra jobs, they can go home and they can earn money elsewhere. With you, if you don't win, you don't earn the money.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but no, not. There used to be pressure on it, but I'm very lucky, as in my wife. She got a good paid job through the NHS, being an occupational therapist. So I've got no pressure at all now. We can live off what she earns with our 2 children, but whatever I earn now is a bonus, and you can't complain about having too much money. No one can. There's no such thing, I don't think. But yeah, the more money you gain, the better for us. And it's one of them. People do feel the pressure. Like obviously, I'm going to feel a bit of pressure, but not as much as I would as if she didn't have a decent, well-paid job. But yeah, there's no pressure this year. I'm just going to go out there and show them what they've been missing for the last 2 or 3 years where I haven't been on there.
Let's talk about the Challenge Tour. Obviously, got that one event win, couple of losses in the final, but done enough to get that tour card, done enough to get yourself to the World Championship. A really, really positive year on the Challenge Tour.
Yeah, I was to be honest with you, I was a bit disappointed with only winning one event out of 24, really. But yeah, I had another 2 finals, which I lost in 5-3, 5-3, where I probably threw away chances there, really, especially in the first one against Scott Williams. But there we are. That's one of them things. But I was like Scott had won four over the year. There's a lot of them around me which won 2, but my results were more consistent. I think, even though I finished second, I was about 600 or 700 pound in front of third. My results overall through the year were more consistent probably than anyone else. As in, I was making the last 16, the last 8, 2 semi-finals, 3 finals, rather than just winning 3 or 4. My results were sort of consistent all the way through. Didn't play very well in some of the events. The first weekend we had in Germany, it was tough. No one knew what to expect, really, for the first time being out in Germany on the Challenge Tour. But yeah, and after I thought, right, I played it a couple of times then, and I thought, right, let's get it together now. But yeah, I felt like I was very consistent on the tour, and yeah, can't complain really. Second place is as good as first place, obviously, without the Grand Slam spot, but that's just added extra. But
Yeah.
the world spot was the most important for me, probably more than the tour card.
Mm. You mentioned Scott Williams there. He obviously finished first on that Challenge Tour. He's had some great results on the Pro Tour as well. He's somebody that really came from nowhere. He didn't have a good Q school. We very rarely, I think we'd seen him in one BDO Worlds a couple of years ago. What have you made of the strides he's made? And is that something you're looking to emulate next year on the tour?
Sure. Of course it is. You know, he's done great this year. There's no doubt about it. Winning a pro tour, you know what I mean? It's fantastic what he's done. But I don't think Scott is any better player than me, and that's just me.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think he plays at any higher level. I mean, me and Scott are probably around the same sort of level where we're good enough to win pro tours. We're good enough to beat the best in the world. I've beaten the best in the world before. You know what I mean? I got nothing. I think I think with Scott now, he's got to try and continue to do what he's done this year, and it's going to be hard. Whereas I've got to start afresh again, but people know what I'm capable of what I've done in the past, and obviously the last 2 years, where a lot of people, there's been quite a bit of focus on me as well. So you know, but I've got nothing to prove. I know I can do. I know what I can do, and the bigger players know what I can do as well. So I, you know, I'm going in open, confident, and just really, yeah, what Scott has done is fantastic. I believe I can do it and better it. But at the end of the day, he's done brilliant this year. Take nothing away from him, but we'll see in the next 2 years who comes out on top.
I think many people will remember you for that UK Open run quite a few years ago now. But do you feel like the darts you're playing now and the consistency you've got, you're playing even better darts than you were back then when you were making a major semi-final?
Oh, definitely. I'm by far a better player now than I was 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Consistency is massive. 188 in, 184, 148 in. I'm massively more improved on that. I'm not by no means am I the finished article yet. But like I've said in a few interviews, I feel like I'm only running on 75%. I'm currently waiting for another knee operation. I have a full knee reconstruction again. Once that's done, hopefully it works this time. But you know, I think I'm by far a much overall broader, better player, probably due to experience and of um, well, just basically try and refocusing myself and trying not reinvent myself really, but focusing more on stuff that matters in the game rather than focusing on the negative, focusing on the positive more than that.
Right then, the World Championship. We're just over a month away from the World Championship. Walking up that hill towards Ali Pali, it's going to be a special moment, isn't it, to be in that venue?
Oh, definitely. Of all the years I've tried, I've fallen short. I've lost in the final of the PDPA World Championship qualifier before 7-6, I think, to Benito van der Pas, which was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking for me because it meant I lost my tour card as well by a very small margin. And yeah, it's going to be special for me. I believe it's special for every player that plays in that tournament. It's every PDC professional players, amateur players dream to play on that, the same as it was on the other side with Lakeside. But yeah, it's going to be very special to me. I'm going to have my wife there and my 2 children come in to watch whenever I play. So yeah, it's going to be emotional. But at the end of the day, I'm there for a reason. I'm not there to make the numbers up. I'm there because I'm good enough to play in it. So, what will be, will be. But it's a bit of a free roll for me this year.
Yeah.
But hey, what will be, will be. I'll take the money and take whatever I get, man, because I'm going to be hard to beat up on that stage.
Yeah, 7.5 grand for the first round. It's generous money, isn't it? I couldn't quite believe that you hadn't made a world championship. Just looking down and all those years on the Pro Tour, you say we mentioned that UK Open semi-final, but never quite made the world. It really is a big moment, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a few years of sort of like the first couple of years I had my tour card, I wasn't very good. I went to Q school just on a whim, really, with Barry Bates, and just to have a go, and I ended up qualifying. I had disastrous 2 years because I just wasn't experienced. I wasn't good enough, but I was lucky enough to get through in Q school, and then it progressed for the next 2 years, and then the 2 years after. But yeah, it was disappointed not to make the Worlds a few times. I lost quite a few silly games. A lot of 6-5 games I lost on the Pro Tour in the space of 2 years, and it scuppered my chances really of any making any World Championship. But yeah, maybe it was for a good reason. Ready, waiting up until now, until I'm really ready for it, and I'm good enough to compete with anyone in the world. So, it's a massive thing, but at the same time, I'm so ready for it. I've been ready for the last year for it, But just to get a chance and prove my worth, I'm there. Is massive for me.
And you mentioned off camera just before we started this, Richie Burnett is someone that you get to practice with, obviously former world champion. There's not many better names that you could be practicing in the lead up to a tournament like this.
Oh no, it'd be, Richie lives 5 minutes from me, just over the mountain, and as mad as Richie is, he's got all of the talent in the world. Obviously, for different reasons, he's not quite there at the minute, but he's a great guy, and he's one of the best practices on the floor, and he's such a lovely guy. But like literally, I can go over, knock on his door, and at the same time, I've got Wayne Warren who lives just over the mountain, literally 5 minutes the other side from me. I got a lot of local boys which I can practice with around there who are very, very talented, who people haven't seen yet. I got the likes of, young Kurt Parry, who I can practice with, one of the best youngsters. Probably didn't fulfill his potential as of yet, but he's still young. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can go out and practice with a range of people. At the end of the day, Johnny, we're all with Modus events now. So if I really needed to, I could probably give Johnny a ring or Gezi a ring. They live 45 minutes either way from me. It's nothing really. But yeah, I got plenty of opportunity just to get that bit of match practice ready for it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in the World Championship, and we'll be seeing you next year on the Pro Tour. Thank you very much for your time, Rob.
Awesome. Cheers, Josh.